What is up, everybody? My name's Logan. I am on a mission to implement decentralized governance into the fabric of society. And happy Monday. It's a nice Monday morning for me here in Florida, and I'm really excited to have this live today because we get to chat about entering the growth phase. So the past, 3 years, me, the team, we've been in this building phase, and then we went in this launching and testing phase, and now we're going to enter into this growth phase. And a big part about this growth phase is the community reward system. Now, this reward system is no joke, okay? It is juicy, it is great. I can't wait to get it started. It should help the process of distributing the tokens to the right people, and getting it into the hands of the people that will really contribute to the protocol, that will really drive adoption of the protocol, that will share resources with the protocol. So we're going to get into all of this incentive structure and these community rewards. So I've made a little presentation here to walk us through it. And just so you know, tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time, we will be having a live just chat about this very topic that I'm going to go through here. So let me share my screen and we'll get cracking. So this is what we're going to talk about today is the Clarity Community Rewards. And this is a system that is meant to create a decentralized workforce and a balanced and long-term token economy. So it starts the process of distributing the token to the people actually driving adoption and actually supporting the protocol. So from a high level, you know, if you've seen Clarity before, if you're in the community, you probably know this from a high level. But phase one, so this took about, year and a half, 2 years was the build phase. And then for like 6 months to a year was the testing phase. And now we're entering the growth phase as a protocol, and the community rewards are a huge part of that. We really want to build this decentralized workforce where, this DAO is just a community of people around the world that are driving adoption of decentralized governance in nonprofits, across industries, in the sports industry, in native Cardano projects already, figuring out things to like tokenize real world income producing assets in DAO treasuries, and having, investment clubs with their friends. However you want to drive adoption of it, that's up to you. But this is the journey that we're getting started on here with the community reward system. So these are going to be the talking points. I kind of already hit on creating a decentralized workforce, so we'll kind of skip over that one. And then we're going to talk about the overall incentive structure of how the token is distributed to the community. So one thing to note is that the Clarity DAO passed a proposal which automatically executed. There was no centralized actor because it was an Agora proposal to send the Clarity Foundation 113 million Clarity tokens to distribute over the next year to the community. So that is what this is being triggered by. It's this, the community said, hey, we want to have a community rewards program. Let's kick it off. So we're going to look into the incentive structure of the rewards program. Then we're going to get into looking more deeply into it in terms of the reward bucket allocations, and then we'll go through the three buckets. One of them is governance participation, one of them has to do with diamonds, and then one of them will be liquidity providers. So let's jump into it. So here's the incentive structure. And what you can see is you have Clarity rewards. And then the three buckets that they go into is voting. So if you stake your Clarity tokens to the DAO and use that stake to vote, voting delegation will be a thing very soon as well. Then you are able to be eligible for that bucket of the rewards. And then you have diamonds and raids. So on the platform, we'll get more into this, but there are many different actions you can do in order to earn diamonds. Diamonds can be redeemed for a 1-to-1 ratio of Clarity. And you also have Rage, which is a monthly competition where there's daily tasks that you can complete, retweeting stuff, creating content, really just helping market and drive the DAO. And then there's a whole referral program that we'll talk about as well, how you can get diamonds. And then you have liquidity providers. So when you vote, okay, so when you vote here, this is really incentivizing participation and caring. You want to care, you want people to actually, think about the decisions and cast their vote. Here is driving adoption. So these diamonds and these raids are going to be all about marketing, sales, this creating a decentralized workforce to help grow the protocol. And then liquidity providers is incentivizing sharing resources. Having deep liquidity is extremely important in any token economy. So this is a big chunk of the rewards as well. So let's jump a little deeper into what the distribution timeline is. Okay, so 133 million Clarity are funding the next year of rewards. All right, and it's going to be about 10 million Clarity per month at a 1% decay curve, and we're funded for 12 months. The DAO can certainly vote to fund more of it in the future. So the first one is participating in governance. Okay, so of the 10 million that go out each month, 37.5% of that 10 million, so 3.75 million Clarity, go to people who stake and vote in governance. And then we have the diamonds, the monthly rate, and the instant claims. So 37.5% of the 10 million go to the diamond section of it, and 26.25% go to the monthly raid, and 11.25% go to the instant claims. So instant claims mean you do a referral. You get the points for the referral, and then you can redeem your diamonds for Clarity. And then the monthly raid is that month-long leaderboard where you get your pro rata share. I'll get more into that in a second. Then 25% of the 10 million are going to liquidity providers. So we're starting a farm on MinSwap and SundaySwap, and that's about 2.5 million Clarity per month. So let's dive a little deeper into the governance participation rewards. So 1, you got to hold Clarity. 2, you have to stake that Clarity to the Clarity DAO. You have to use that stake to cast your vote. And then 3, you can claim your rewards. So this is important down here. So every day we save each user's percentage stake of Clarity. And then at the end of the month, we average out those percentages to determine, what percentage of the Clarity you have staked. And that becomes your distribution of that bucket of rewards. So, if we just took a snapshot at the end, then you could totally game that system. So that is how we're doing it. Now let's talk about the diamonds, the community growth rewards. So there's 3.75 million Clarity dedicated to this per month. Instant claims is when you earn diamonds, and then you can redeem those diamonds at a 1-to-1 ratio for Clarity. And then you also have the raid reward. So I'm gonna really show what this looks like. So each month there's going to be a raid. So right now, if you want to learn about the raids, we have kind of a practice raid going on where the top 5 people get Clarity merch. So I have we have a little store now. So there's a bunch of cool gear on there actually. So this is a raid. We're going to have one each month. As you can see, there's 7 days left in this raid. When a user comes in, they click into the raid, and the DAO members can see, okay, I can get raid points if I do these tasks. So if I follow Clarity on TikTok, if I follow Clarity on Instagram, if I do retweet the GM Clarity community, this type of stuff. So you come in here and you're able to get your points, and then based off that, you get your pro rata distribution of that allocation for the rewards based off, the amount of points you got and the total amount given out over the reward period. So that's how that works. And then for the instant claims, this is honestly probably my favorite part as a guy that really wants to drive growth of decentralized governance and on-chain treasuries and that type of stuff. This is when I think it gets really cool. So diamonds can be redeemed for Clarity at a 1-to-1 ratio, and this is how you get diamonds. When you refer or create a user that completes 5 incentives, you get 1,000. When you just refer or create a user, you get some points. And then there's quick social interactions that you can get points for, like retweeting and following and that type of stuff. Then you have on-chain interactions, which you get points for. Every time you create a proposal, every time you cast an on-chain vote, you get points for those things. And then there's also in-depth social interactions. Now the referral program is super. When you're referring organizations, this is when it gets really interesting. So if you refer or create, so both of the parties, a DAO with a $1 million in the treasury, then you receive 1 million diamonds. Okay. if you refer or create one with $100,000 treasury, you see 100,000 and so forth. If you refer an organization with 1,000 members, then you get 100,000 points. So you can see here, if you help contribute to driving adoption of on-chain organizations with Clarity, then you will be rewarded. 1,000,000 diamonds for one of the tasks, which is pretty cool. And now let's dive into the liquidity provider rewards. So here, what you're seeing is we're going to have two pools. We're working on making this Clarity plus Min pool. So we'll start it soon. But if you haven't looked at the temperature check, definitely do that and vote yes, because that'd be a great farm to have. And then the same thing on Sunday Swap. So, it's the same thing. 1.25 million Clarity are available for liquidity providers. It's on a 1% decay curve for the next 12 months. So it's going to be pretty cool. So right now, the Clarity DAO just passed a proposal, or is voting on an Agora proposal. There's all of this DAO-owned liquidity. Okay, so this DAO-owned liquidity is being sent out of the DAO treasury, and then the liquidity is being split half between the MinSwap pool and half between the Sunday's V3 pool. So we're going to deepen liquidity there, and then all of the LP tokens that are received from that will go back into the DAO treasury. So I guess the thing to note there is that the DAO owned liquidity doesn't farm, just FYI. And then here you have, I wanted to end with just talking about some DAO culture stuff. At the end of the day, what DAOs are people that have a similar goal and mission. Those are the DAOs that work. And for us, the culture we're building is, look, if you care about information existing on chain, like the governance of a certain type of treasury existing on chain, whether it's ensuring the transparency of nonprofits, or maybe it's working with governments to have the public money actually be transparent and know how it works, or if it's these large corporations that govern $1 billion in capital and you want to make them, or maybe it's an open source movement that you want to put on chain, so you can easily and quickly fund developers that are adding to the open source library. There's all of these different types of things that should live on chain. So that's what we're building. We're building a community that cares about this, a community that cares that instead of having to trust institutions, instead of having to trust governments, you get to verify information because it's on chain. So you can see, oh, that's what they did with that money. Okay, there's the proposal. I can see who voted which way. There's also some benefits to kind of like midnight type of stuff too. I think that's really cool. But yeah, so if you're into that kind of stuff, join us, join our Discord. We're on this mission. We have some cool rewards come in as well. And then the other thing is, when people think of DAOs, they think like, oh, how many token holders does it have? How big is the treasury? The best DAOs will not be the biggest DAOs. The best DAOs will be groups of friends coming together, to do something, whether it's making sports bets, or it's buying real estate that you share between 2, 3, 4, 5 families. Those are the types of DAOs that, I'm really excited about, the grassroots level DAOs. I think those can really take off. DAOs don't have to be this multi-billion-dollar treasury that's feeding a whole ecosystem. Those DAOs are epic and those DAOs are great. But all DAOs don't have to be like that. So yeah, guys, that's really what I wanted to chat about today. I'll try to keep it short and sweet. As a reminder, if you're interested in learning more about this stuff, interested in meeting the community, we have a little live Google Meet call next tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time. And what we're going to do is talk deeper into this. We're going to see if there's any tweaks you want to make. A lot of thought has been put into this, but by no means is it perfect. We will continue to iterate based off what people think, and if there's any good ideas that we think should be implemented. And then the other thing is, if you vote in Catalyst, if you care about driving adoption of Cardano, look at our proposal for NYCFC. So we have the opportunity, us, the Clarity and InMaker, to work with NYC over the next year They're offering all these types of perks to the DAO members, such as VIP tickets and Messi game tickets and Manchester City Summer Tour stuff. You know, that type of stuff. It's a legit thing. I've seen the paperwork. Like, it will put a legitimate professional soccer club on Cardano. So I really want to make sure that it gets voted in. So if you can do anything to help us spread the word, we'll be posting about it. InMaker, I think, literally posted about it this morning. But that will be a big deal for Cardano. And part of the contract I read is a case study. Okay. So one thing that's really hard to do is get a case study with a legitimate organization that can scale up in an industry. Okay, so this is the opportunity for us to work hand in hand for the next year with NYCFC to build a DAO for their fan base. Okay, it's going to start off with a launch party, and then there's going to be all these different things that are going on within the DAO. They're going to have different votes about jerseys and all this stuff. There's going to be incentives and leaderboards, and it's going to be great. But my point is that if we get a case study with a legitimate organization like this, and it drives engagement in their fan base, it drives loyalty, it causes positive change, a DAO structure being implemented into the fan base, we get to take it to every other club. It doesn't even have to be soccer. It can be any sport. It can be second division, third division, it can be first division, it can be big teams, it can be small teams. So this is really something that I hope passes. I've never ever wanted one of our Catalyst proposals to pass so bad. So yeah, please share that if you can. That's it from me. I hope everyone has a great, productive week. Like I said, my name is Logan, and I am on a mission to implement decentralized governance into the fabric of society. I'll chat with everyone soon. See ya.